This is a project we're going to be making today.
It's been a while since I shot a video, so I thought it would be fun to share this project with you. Here are just a few of the supplies you may want for today's project: scrapbooking paper, scissors, ribbon and lace, a bow jig, and other typical scrapbooking and card making supplies.
Again, I cut my shape with a die from Stephanie Bernard and the Stamps of Life. To cut the outside mittens, I used the largest of the layering dies. I cut it out of both pattern paper and chipboard. If you'd like, you can cut paper, just regular copy paper, with the second largest layering die of this set, and it works perfectly for making the pages of your book. This stack of copy paper is cut down to 2 3/4 by 4 inches. It could actually be 3 inches by 4 inches. You would just need to use a corner rounder on the top edge so that it would not stick out from the knits. This mitt shape was also cut using the die and just regular copy paper.
To cover my chipboard pieces with the patterned paper, I'm using some regular ordinary school glue.
I've had for a long time, and it's really thick, so I'm just going to spread this around with my fingers. Baby wipes are great for cleaning up stuff.
After carefully aligning the pieces, you're going to want to set this aside and let it dry, or you can put it underneath something heavy, especially if the paper tends to curl just a little bit. You will repeat the gluing process for both of the mitten pieces. Once again, my base is a lightweight chipboard. In this case, it was a piece of packaging, but you can use things as cereal boxes, macaroni and cheese. That type of thing makes a great base piece for this type project.
It's all about using what you have, and today I'm just going to use my baby wipe and gently sponge the edges of my project. I personally like the look, plus if you've missed anything, you've cut anything incorrectly, you won't see it. You're going to hide it with this little bit of sponging. If you don't want to sponge it with the baby wipe, you can use
As an alternative, you can use a sponge applicator to do the edges of your piece.
a binding wire to bind my book. In order to do so, I'm using a binding machine. This happens to be a Zetter. With the Zetter, I'm going to be putting my pre-cut paper into this channel to cut the holes for it, and then it will go in this channel for the binding. Now there is a trick.
When using the Zetter to punch the binding, you can easily see from the side of the machine that the bottom piece is lining up so that all 6 holes that are being punched are in the correct place.
Paper that we cut to the shape of a mitten, we're going to do the same thing as we did before. We're going to be sure that all 6 of those holes are lined up in the channel with our piece.
You can easily punch through quite a few sheets at the same time. It just may require a little bit more force. As you can see, lining up the holes is pretty easy. You just have to take the time to do it. For one thing, it makes the presentation much nicer and the notepad much easier to use for the recipient. You will want to continue this process until you have all of the interior pages punched. I used my bow jig to make a bow for my mitten, and I attached that with both E6000 glue and hot glue. There is a small piece of lace on the cuff of the mitten as well. This is a classic clamshell box used to hold stationery cards.
I got mine from clearbags.com, and you just fold them, which is what I'm going to do. You can glue this together if you'd like, you don't really need to. I've cut a piece of heavy cardstock to 5 3/4 by 4 1/2. Now I'm going to put in my finished mitten. Let's decorate the packaging. In order to make it look like this one, what we're going to do is start with our ribbon, just like that on the front side. Bring it around the back. You don't need a real long tail on this side. You don't even have to take this off the spool if you don't want to. I'll bring it up, hold on to it, and bring it around. We're going to tie this in a knot right now.
Using my bow jig, I'm going to tie a bow.
Wrap this around, but I'm going to do it twice so I have a double bow. Left is still over the right. Push it up underneath. Bring it over the top, make sure it's centered, and finish tying your knot.
It may take a few moments for you to fiddle with the ribbon so that you have it exactly like you want it.
I decided to add a charm to my front, so I'm going to do that. They're strung onto a piece of, I think this is jute, with my ribbon centered and in the right direction. I'm going to swap that out. I'm going to reach up under both layers of this. Okay, so I've got it under and I'm just going to tie this off into a knot. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, leave me a thumbs up. Share my videos on your social media. If you haven't and you'd like to be, subscribed to my channel. Stay happy and be a blessing. I will talk to you soon.